Tom Savage. Listen to Nerd Radio on Rift 2.
We're back with more Nerd Radio, wherever you get your podcast, as part of the B-Pod Studios Network. And thanks to my co-host, Al Beck, you can find us at one easy-to-find place on the internet.
That's right, NerdRadio101.com to download the podcast.
Yep, and as you may have heard in that particular thing, you can find us on Rift 2, Wednesday nights at 10 p.m., 101.1 FM HD2 in the Motor City. James, Al Beck here for some more Nerd Radio. And typically, I leave the comics until the very end of the show, but this week is actually a really huge week in comics, so I wanted to kind of share with you guys
It's a huge week in comics.
Right. The first thing I wanted to share with you guys is that we're at the final issue of the Three Jokers.
The final one, huh?
Three Jokers #1, finding out...
it was a 3-issue miniseries, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And this is essentially Jeff Johns' sequel to The Killing Joke, if you will.
Uh-oh, he dropped a Joker card.
What are you snickering about?
I was just, from the last segment, I was on Cameo.com trying to find someone for us.
I thought that was going to turn into a great bid, but I guess we pulled the plug on it.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to it quick enough, but I think I found the guy.
All right, well, let's pause what I'm talking about.
If we can muster together $88, we can get not Tom Cruise, the Tom Cruise impersonator.
Like the one from our local area?
I don't know. It just
I wanted
it's
to
a
introduce
YouTube guy.
himself as not Tom Cruise.
Not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, but that's always listed.
$88, huh?
$88 for not Tom Cruise.
Look at that.
Which is more expensive than Mick Foley. I saw Mick Foley's on here for $75.
Mick Foley's
like
pretty expensive.
$75?
Big E is pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know. I heard he's pulling in a big chunk of cash doing his cameos.
Oh yeah, he could quit. Much like the whole thing with the Twitch stream and the WWE, like guys like Xavier Woods could just quit wrestling, or Paige could just quit wrestling and be on Twitch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Big E could just be
Speaking
on Cameo.
of WWE and Twitch, they have an official channel now.
They do.
Yeah, they do have an official channel on Twitch. So
Yep.
I have a feeling that has something to do with all the issues with their talents being on there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They've seen the gold mine.
We're this segment went completely off the rails. I'm like, I'm going to talk about comic books in the middle of the show, and then like, no, wait, there's
back to the comics, as you were.
I was just scrolling and
came across not Tom Cruise.
It made me laugh. So sorry, I didn't mean to bring it back.
Can you find how much his not Nicolas Cage to do one?
Yeah, is there a Nicolas Cage in there?
Is there a not Nicolas Cage available?
Don't know.
I could be on there as not Nicolas Cage. I'll just
You probably could, yeah.
give everybody the stare. So yeah, Three Jokers came out. It's the final issue. You kind of get to we pair from Three Jokers down to one, and you find out who they're trying to make into the next Joker in this particular
the
book.
whole storyline. They're trying to find the next Joker.
Yeah, the first
It's like America's Got Talent, but we're looking for Jokers.
America's got jokes.
America's got jokes. Gotham's got jokes. You got jokes.
Gotham's got jokes. There we go.
And here's your host, Clayface.
But yeah, without spoiling too much of it, I feel it's definitely a better ending than Doomsday Clock was, which was the Watchmen DC thing, the last thing that Jeff Johns did.
Okay.
But it feels like it's set up for a sequel, and if there's a sequel, I'm not interested.
No, you're out, huh?
No.
Ooh, they turned you off.
Nah, I don't really need more of this. But this miniseries in itself was kind of interesting. You get somewhat of an explanation of how and why there's been three Jokers. It doesn't like nail down the timeline of like every time you've seen the Joker, this time it was this guy and this time it's this guy, but it does give you a general feeling of like, okay, when he was really psychotic, then it was this version of the Joker. But when he was just like poisoning fish back in the 50s, it was this guy.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
And that's interesting to see. The other book that is huge in the comic book stores this week is the first issue of The Last Ronin. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles miniseries that Kevin Eastman told me and James about back at Astronomicon. That is supposed to be kind of a Dark Knight Returns for Ninja Turtles. Yeah. There is one turtle left in a far future, and he's trying to kill
Raphael. I think I saw an R on the back of the.
That's for Ronin.
Oh.
But no, I had the same thing. I was like, man,
The Last Ronin is Raphael,
and
he's
that's
cool but rude.
Right. That's kind of the mystery of this first issue is who is the final turtle.
Who is the Last Ronin?
And you do find out at the end of this issue, which is pretty cool. I won't spoil it for you. You want to take a look at it?
Yeah, I'll flip
Pretty
through
cool.
on right to the end, just like choose your own adventure.
Absolutely. But yeah, the last turtle in a far-flung future is trying to kill the grandson of the Shredder, who runs the.
Who banged Shredder? Come on.
He's wearing that mask. He might look
Who
really handsome
banged
under there.
Shredder? This was before COVID times. Now he might look like a sex pot. But come on, who's banging Shredder? He's all full of razor blades on his shoulders and stuff. There's
Right.
no way.
No,
Like,
it's-
how could he get intimate with Shredder?
Some ladies are into that kind of thing, man.
Oh, that's true. But you know, I feel like if you're going to bang Shredder, you make him wrap it up. Come on. You know, no cream pies.
Wrap it up, Shredder.
No cream pies from Shredder.
Do you think he's got razor blades on his dong?
I don't know. Well, he has a cod piece, so I don't think he has to put any razor blades on his dong per se. But
It might be a secret ninja ability.
I just find it hard to believe that somebody's banging the Shredder, and then they have a kid as well, and then they let them know that, hey, your grandpa's Shredder. Don't you keep that a family secret? You don't spill the beans on Shredder being your grandpa.
Unless you're-
kinda
unless
like,
you're,
keep it hush hush.
Unless you're proud of your grandpa.
Ooh, April O'Neil did not age well.
No.
Yeah.
My mind's still just stuck in that cod piece. That's not going to smell good, guys.
Shredder's codpiece? Yeah. I mean, he hangs out in a technodrome with a brain, alien brain in the belly.
Well, in the back of the book, which is kind of cool, it's a thing that IDW tends to do. They give you the art for all the variant covers. There are, if I'm remembering correctly, 25 variant covers for this particular book. So you're going to have a hard time collecting them all because of that, and because the orders, IDW had to short around 130,000 of the book than they expected to print for this very first printing, and it shot the price of it up to $50 on the day it's
damn.
released.
Why did they have to short?
According
say?
according to what they were what they said online, the set print qualities in advance of the FOC, which is the final cutoff date when people could say, okay, this is how many I want the stores. Because of the book's a little bit larger than your average comic book, it's like Golden Age size.
Gotcha. Okay.
They couldn't print as many of them as quickly as they can of regular books. You can kind of see with a regular book
Yeah, I can see
how
that.
it's a little
It's
bit
a touch
larger.
smaller.
But they, by the time they got to when the final cut was, they had one number, and then a whole bunch of people searched the number and was like, no, we need more of these. And they're like, we only printed that first number. So what they're going to do is they're rushing to a second printing, which will be out December 1st.
So you're gonna have a little gold mine on your hands right there.
Kinda. It depends. I mean, by the time the second printing hits or whatever, but I don't know, James, this is something you were interested in, wasn't it? The Last
Yeah, I think
Ronin?
it's cool. Yeah, I mean, I've already seen the end, so I know which
you want this
turtle
one?
it is. Do I want it?
Yeah.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I like I said, I knew you're one of my in and out comics friends, and I'm
Yeah.
always happy to hook up a comics friend. I try and get you.
I'm
hooked.
the in and out friend he likes hooking up with. He likes hooking up with me on the in and out. Yeah, no, like that comic, I would read through it and then it would just sit on a shelf and not really have any. Like,
Well, you can borrow it if you want. If you wanted to look through it, did you see who
My-
it was?
I was going to say,
did,
that
yeah,
was my
yeah.
question is, did you peek at the end?
I
Yeah.
did. Shocked.
Yeah,
Really?
Shocked as
Yeah.
to who it was.
That's
not
cool.
who I would have picked.
I
Not
was
who I would have expected either.
I was wondering. See,
Well, I don't want to be the only one in the room who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Pass it over here.
all right, here you go. Yeah, because I don't want to spoil it for you guys because it
It's
just came out.
Shocking. Just because the weapons,
Right.
I didn't realize he knew how to use all those weapons.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised because in the original Eastman and Laird books, I had the role-playing game, the tabletop role-playing game books
Yeah.
for those, so they had the stats on everybody, and one of that particular turtle's specific stats is that he's ambidextrous,
Okay.
because all of them use two weapons, but the
Yeah.
reason he can use the two weapons he does is because he's ambidextrous. He's just as good with both hands, so I'm like,
gotcha.
yeah, naturally he would probably pick up on how to use everything.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about that
Yeah.
once we
as the story, as the plot thickens.
Yeah. So
Well,
it's a cool book, and the one thing I really appreciate about it too, as I'm looking through it, is you can tell that Kevin Eastman did the layouts. Like, I'm a little upset that it's not just his art. I would really like it if it was just him and Peter Laird maybe inking it. The artist does a fine job. It's just not the guy that I originally did
yeah,
the turtle.
I gotcha.
So I would enjoy that a little bit more. But you can tell from the way the pages are laid out, it's like, oh yeah, this is Kevin Eastman.
So you got a little bit of that old school TMNT feel,
100%.
but with a little
100%. Like I said, I'm looking through the
change.
way the pages are laid out. I'm like, oh, this feels like the original Ninja Turtles comics.
That's cool.
So it's if you can find one, It's absolutely worth it. But if you can't, don't worry. They are making more of them, and they're going to be coming out December 2nd, the Last Ronin. I got a question for you guys. We were talking about the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the Joker's favorite television show is?
The Joker's favorite television
Well,
show.
what would you think the Joker's...
Is this a riddle, or are you asking us a real question? Like,
Well,
you're not going
there-
to hit us with a dad joke, are you?
No,
We'll
not
say
at all.
it's-
Not at
okay.
all. There was actually it's in canon in a comic that came out a couple
Oh,
weeks
is it?
ago.
Okay. I was
It
gonna
is.
say it's
But
not
if you-
Robert De Niro hosting.
It certainly is not.
It's probably The View or something like that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, according to the Batman Adventures Continues, which is a book that's coming
My
out
Little
right
Pony.
now. It is not My Little Pony. But the Batman Adventures Continues number 13 reveals in a panel that the Joker is a big Family Guy fan.
Really?
Yeah.
He likes that Seth MacFarlane, huh?
He said something. He said something in one of the panels saying this is better than those fights on Family Guy.
Wow.
So there you go. Who would have
The
known?
Joker watches Family Guy. If I was Seth MacFarlane, I would put that in one of my cartoons.
Yeah, it's much like South Park. He seems like he's got real quick turnaround on what's
like,
in the cartoon.
Put the Joker watching an episode of something to make fun of yourself, but also make fun of the Joker. There you go, Seth MacFarlane. There's a freebie from James. Feel free to
See,
put me
it's
in the
one thing.
credits.
It's one thing when you give him a freebie. It's a whole other thing when Adam Sandler just looks at your tweets.
That's
and
all.
starts
just
stealing
steals
I was
my
just
ideas.
gonna say, just James tweet that idea out. Adam
Yeah.
Sandler will see it and let Seth know.
Yes, that's how I'm going to do
right
that.
there you go.
Adam Sandler's my middleman to communicate with Seth MacFarlane.
All right. Well,
It would be hilarious though if more of your ideas were taken by Adam Sandler.
That would be. I would be so upset.
the first time I'm like, that's coincidence. But by
Yeah.
like the third one, I'd be like,
Yeah.
you're right. Adam
Okay,
Sandler
he
is
is
following
reading your
James.
tweets. Yeah.
Jimmy Deathnuts shows up in one of his movies.
Yeah, but what? How does he know Jimmy's phone number? How does he even know how to reach him on the battle realm of Hunkin Dwarf? How does he know how to reach them in there? This is wild. I thought I was the only one who knew how to make contact with Jimmy Deathnuts.
Well, I do got some video game news for you, but before we move on from the comics, I've got a
It just sounds like a bat signal, but it's a set of nuts hanging up in the sky.
Yeah. I'm like,
That's how you
how would he find the
saw
nut
Jimmy
signal?
Deathnuts. The nut signal. There's so much hair.
He sent him the nutstagram.
oh God, gross.
I mean, it grows there, you know. And Jimmy likes authenticity.
Oh man.
That's what that grooming stuff is for that we advertise.
Well, Jimmy does not get the Manscaped. That's my department. I'm the one that messes with the Manscaped kits. Jimmy's like, what's a Manscaped kit?
So much hair.
Anyway, you were saying
You're
Chuck.
awful. You're a terrible person, and you should feel bad about yourself.
Well, plus everybody knows an interdimensional warrior doesn't shave his nuts. Okay, that's just common.
Maybe he
knowledge.
does.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how you get really good with your axe.
Maybe.
Hey.
So we've talked a lot about different people that we do not appreciate in comic books. You know, Grant Morrison, Rob Liefeld, that kind of thing. I don't think this name has ever come up, and I'm curious what your take on it is, Al. Peter David. Where do you stand on Peter David?
Peter David?
Yeah.
Give us a background. What's Peter David known for? What has
Peter
he
David
done?
is known for an extremely long run on the Incredible Hulk back
Okay.
in the 90s.
So he's down with the Hulkster.
He created the Maestro, which is the Hulk from the future that
Okay,
has
Future
defeated
Hulk.
all the superheroes. He worked on X Factor for quite a few years over
Okay.
at Marvel. He's done some work over at DC, but mostly been a Marvel guy. Do you have an opinion on Peter David, Albeck?
I do not.
All right.
Have you read any of his work?
No, I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that I've read of his. So,
Well, there was an interview.
and if he's mostly known for Hulk, Hulk's not really my thing.
Sure.
So.
Al doesn't have to read about the Hulk because he works with one in the office next to him during the weekday mornings.
Well, there was an interview with Previews World that Peter David did. I believe this is somewhat an old interview, but he did Hulk for about 12 years.
Wow.
And
That's a long run.
he revealed that the reason that he even started on the Hulk is because Marvel's editor-in-chief at the time couldn't find anyone else that wanted to write Hulk.
Oh, so, well, nobody else wants to write it, so you can have it for 12 years.
He said at the time there was hostility towards his writing from the editorial department because he worked in direct sales, and they felt that someone in direct sales had no business being on the creative side. So, and nobody wanted to write Hulk, so they just stuck him with it, and he made it fantastic. Made it a
I wouldn't
huge
mind
deal.
that as a challenge. I think I could write some Hulk episodes.
You
But
think
mine
so?
would be about like the Hulk would get angry at a video game. The Hulk would get angry because the garbage pickup didn't come properly. You know, so Bruce Banner's, he's flipping out over stupid things. I'd make Hulk into a Karen.
Yeah.
That's essentially what the Hulk would be. What, Chipotle? I ordered it online 20 minutes ago. You said it'd be ready, and it's not. You're going to make me angry. And then, the Hulk smashes up a Chipotle, So my Hulk would be much different.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what's the resolution to that story? He gets angry and he smashes stuff, and then
And then
he
nobody
just
gets burritos.
moves on to the next thing.
Yeah, then he goes to Taco Bell.
Eventually people are the whole population that's not already angry at him is going to be angry because he's ruining the fast food places.
Yeah, the Hulk will destroy Chipotle, and then you'll find a naked Bruce Banner in the parking lot of a Taco Bell covered in cheesy gordita crunch wrappers. That end scene.
That's how every issue ends.
Yeah. Like, why does he keep going to Chipotle and then going to Taco Bell instead? I'm like, because he goes to Chipotle because his fiance wants a burrito bowl instead of Taco Bell food.
We suddenly discover that the Hulk's weakness is Taco Bell. It's what
Yes.
calms him
Well, I
down.
like specifically it's the cheesy gordita. Every time he wakes up, he's covered in.
Covered in cheesy
Like,
gordita.
maybe if he tried something different, maybe he wouldn't always pass out in the Taco Bell parking lot. No, it's always going to be a cheesy
It's
gordita
gonna be
crunch.
cheesy.
It's the only thing on the menu worth the $4.
I
you
think-
guys
It wasn't
spend.
gamma radiation. It was zesty ranch.
Oh, yeah, Zesty Ranch. Ooh, the Zesty Ranch.
I think they should let James write the Hulk, if not for a one shot, at least for a 3 to 6 issue run.
I would love that.
I think that would be hilarious.
I think it'd be fun. I mean, to be honest, I had a bit of a hand in writing back when we used to have the Riff Rock Girl here in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I helped write. I kind of created the plot outline of 2 Riff Rock Girl storylines.
Yeah.
So I would love to be involved in something like that.
Yeah, and that was pretty fun. All right, well, let's take a short break. I do have some video game news to get to, as well as something coming to Fall Guys that I think we'll both be very interested in.
Hopefully an easy mode so I can win a match instead of getting smoked in the first round every time.
And a game that some people were looking forward to very much has been delayed until December, and we'll talk about that next.